Si le gustaría escuchar un episodio en español, por favor escuche el siguiente episodio.
Hello, friends. How are you? My name is Larissa Davila, and I am part of the team of La Incubadora podcast. It is my pleasure to be with you today, and I am very, very excited about the next interview that we're about to have. La Incubadora podcast is part of Economic Growth Business Incubator, a local nonprofit with the mission to provide training, coaching, and support to aspiring and existing business owners who face barriers to grow a successful business. La Incubadora podcast is born out of the need to put in video and audio a lot of the success stories that we see in our business incubator. We also want to answer frequently asked questions and connect small business owners with the resources to succeed in business and for them to be able to listen to it on their own time wherever they are. If you are a small business owners and perhaps your family and the families of your employees depend on you, it is recommended that you have a contingency plan in place to have at all times. If you would like to know how to prepare with the company in case of unforeseen events with your company, please join us to a chat with Eduardo Miramontes, who is a member success manager at A+ Federal Credit Union. So join me in welcoming Eduardo. Hi, Eduardo.
Hello.
We are very, very happy to have you here with us today.
I'm very excited to be here. Thank you.
So
I'm sorry, you cut off.
Sorry, I think it got a little disconnected, right?
Yes.
Yes. Please tell us a little bit about your story and how you got to your position today.
Yes, I'll try to make it as brief as possible because sometimes I'm feeling that it's getting longer and longer. But get an idea. I was born and raised in Mexico, and I was in Mexico half of my life. I will say, and I did work for major banks over there. And I migrated to the United States as an adult, and it's been a while. But we arrived in Austin in 2009, and since 2009, I've been working with A+ Federal Credit Union, which to me the concept of credit union was fairly new. And I have had the fortune to only have been working for credit unions ever since I came to the United States. At A+ Federal Credit Union, I had a lot of opportunities. Most of them is because I spoke Spanish very well, and I had the banking background from Mexico. I've been to many branches as well. And many positions. So I started as a member service counselor, which is very similar to a banker. If you think about the similarities in the banking world, is very similar to a banker. That position kind of evolved and it's more like universal. Then I went to different branches doing that as a senior member service counselor. Then I had the opportunity to lead the Round Rock branch. I was the assistant branch manager at Round Rock for a few years. And then I had the opportunity, it was a big opportunity to open a new branch, a new location for A+ Federal Credit Union over there in the Northwest Hills area, by North Hills and Hart Lane. And I had the opportunity there, and we were there at that branch for about 4 years. Then another opportunity came up, and I went to the main branch, the headquarters of A+ Federal Credit Union, as a manager of their main location. and that was something very, very interesting as well, because it's the biggest branch that A+ has. And to me, the joy of being there was having about 17 employees that we were all dedicated to help our members in there. And now I joined a new role that is called a Member Success Administrator. And in this role, I'm going to have the opportunity to be more in touch with the Hispanic community, because this is basically a role that is going to create the Hispanic strategy for A+ for the credit union, so that we can better serve our members, the community that we live in with A+.
That is great, and I mean it is a growing population, in not only in Central Texas but all of the United States. And I know that you have been very actively involved with the community. For example, you graduated from the Hispanic Austin Leadership Program in 2019. You were recognized as the Ambassador of the Year by the Greater Austin Hispanic Chamber of Commerce in 2019, and you have been named in 2021 for the Generous Business Award Honoree in the category of Volunteer of the Year. So you do a lot of volunteer service in the community. I think this new position for you, it's going to be great. And it's going to be not only great for you, but also for the community that it seems that you enjoy helping so much. And can you tell us a little bit more about what you enjoy the most about your job, Eduardo?
What I love about my job, because I really love what I do. Every day I get to help somebody, and that to me is pretty much kind of falls into the purpose of life. I think a lot of people think their purpose is to do something great or achieve something or be successful. I think it should be more simple as, what about helping others? And how many people have you helped today, or in your life? How many people have you helped? How many lives have you touched? And the fact that I get to do that every single day is just a joy, and I feel very fortunate that I'm in an organization that allows you to do just that.
Exactly. I was talking to some of the team members the other day that it's there's this Japanese word that it's called, I think, ikigai. I don't know if I'm spelling it correctly, ikigai, which is doing what you love to do, what you're good at doing, what helps the community, and what people are willing to pay you to do. So it's like finding your purpose in life, and I think that you have found that for your life, which is amazing. And so, having worked in the banking industry in the past, and now working for for a credit union, um, why do you like working more for a credit union rather than a slightly larger bank, or the traditional banks that we see?
Yes. It has a lot to do with what you just said, right? Finding the ikigai, the point where you can do what you're good at, you find joy, and use your everything you know, your skills and attributes to do that. The big difference between a bank and a credit union that allows people like me to find that and do that is that a credit union does not have any owner, any one single owner, or a small group of owners. If you think about a bank or many businesses, they have an owner or a group of owners, which are the stockholders. And the purpose is to earn money, to make money, just like any other business. That's fine, that's normal. But to me, finding another concept that was, yes, we have this organization that is not for profit, meaning our main purpose is not to make money, and there's actually not a one person or a small group of person that are the owners. Everybody that is a member, it's an owner, it's part owner of the credit union, and everybody has a vote to select a group of people, which are the board of directors, who make the major decisions for the credit union. And it turns out that the board of directors, they don't get paid. They're voluntaries, people that believe in the credit union movement. So I was like, wait, so they're not trying to make money. And that what that does in the employee's mind is when I'm facing a member, somebody that needs help, I am not thinking I need to sell you something. I'm thinking, how can I help you? I just need to find that thing that you need help with. Sometimes you know that you need help specifically, sometimes you don't know, and that's our job. And we can really focus on that side of our job. And I don't have any particular pressure that I have to do this so that I can keep my job, to kind of sell something very specific. I just have to find what is best for you, and that's how we will find you. And that allows us also to go out in the community and find what the community needs and how we can help and be good partners in the community as well.
Eduardo, can we find the credit unions in Latin American countries? This is a concept that is not very familiar for first generation immigrants, is it?
I mean, when you think about it, it sounds like such a new concept for us. But I dig into that, and there are credit unions worldwide. It's just not as spread out as it is in the United States. In Mexico and other countries, they may be known as cooperativas, cajas de ahorro, cooperativas de crédito y ahorro. So there is some similarity, but me coming from Mexico City, I never saw a credit union in Mexico City into that. So it is something that should be more widespread in around the world, but I think that's still some work to do there.
Yeah, it is a privilege that we have, I guess, in Central Texas or in the United States, that we have some more credit unions. So that is something amazing. So in your position, you talk about helping the community and how you get this opportunity to help all the time. In your position, do you find the people who do not save their company's money for unforeseen events, that they don't have contingency plans, that they don't save money for rainy days?
Oh my God, all the time. And that's unfortunate. The majority of people do not have that discipline or habit to have saved for the unforeseen into that. So there is a big number of people, whether it's personal or business, that have not saved for what any unforeseen circumstances.
What are some examples that you frequently encounter, or what can be called like an unforeseen event that a small business owner should be planning for or should have some money saved for? So what would be an example of a rainy day for the purposes of this episode?
And that's very important, because that's something we have to define early on as you embark in doing a business. If you're planning to do a business or you're already in a business, you have to define what does that mean, because a lot of people get confused and think that a rainy day, it's a normal expense that we should have planned for. And I always kind of use the vehicle, buying a vehicle as an example. Because it happens to us all the time. What happens when you buy a vehicle? You kind of know that it's going to need some maintenance, and you're going to have to kind of spend some money on it. But when the time comes to make a major repair that was expected, you're like, oh my God, I didn't expect this to happen. I don't have the money to pay for this repair into that, when it should have been something that you should have planned for. So that's not called a rainy day. It's just that you didn't plan for it when you should have planned for it. But if you do from the beginning and define all the possible scenarios where your business is going to kind of need some flow, some cash flow, you're going to encounter that there's going to be very little rainy days. The one good example, fortunately and unfortunately, that we all had was just recently COVID. When COVID-19 hit us, nobody could plan for that. Nobody knew exactly what that meant and how that was going to impact us into that. So that, I will call it an unforeseen circumstance, a real rainy day. Everything else in your business and in your life can be planned for, because there's so many other businesses that have gone through the same thing. And if you have done the exercise of doing your homework and investigating planning and building a strategy for those times, is not really a rainy day into that. So every business should have like a rainy day fund, call it savings, call it whatever you want to call it, but there should be a savings for all those things that are planned for, and one that is really for rainy days, for those times, like if COVID or something like that hits again, do I have a fund that is going to help us with that, and not expecting some magical or celestial help from above.
But even during COVID, we saw some examples of people that had savings to continue to keep their employees while the funds from government came, and then we saw some people that had to let go of their employees, and then when they reached out to get them back, they couldn't get them back because they found other positions that were more fitting for them. So I think having some sort of savings, some I guess like cushion for situations like this. You can't plan for the whole thing, but you can plan for a little bit of it to have even small business contractors when they want to bid for larger projects with construction companies. They ask them to see how much money they have and to see if they are a good fit for them, because when they take some time to pay them, they want to make sure that they have enough money on their payroll, so on their account, so that they can do payroll for their employees. So sometimes it is for rainy days, and sometimes it is just for the company to grow. You have to be ready to cover for expenses, or at least have a relationship with a credit union that can help you, or a bank to have that connection. So it is very important that they do have some sort of savings or cash flow in their account, so that they can grow from stage to stage, or they can make sure that they continue to work strong and without stress if there's some sort of incident or irregularity in their cash flow. So what do you recommend for a small business owner that is listening to us, or perhaps an entrepreneur who is about to start a business? What would you recommend for them to start saving?
The key word is start. Start now and never stop. A lot of times we wait. Okay, yeah, when I have $1,000, I'm going to start my savings funds. And how are you going to get to those $1,000? Like, how is that going to happen? Everything is about planning, planning for it. And if you didn't plan for it by saving $100 every week, every other week, I will get to $1,000. You never get to $1,000, because life will hit you first before you get to that expectation. So remove any obstacles and start now, whatever that means, and be simple. The key is to start. If you haven't saved by now, and you're already an adult and you haven't developed that habit of savings, that's fine. Don't worry. Just start now. And what that means is decide an amount or a percentage from your next income, whether income that's your next paycheck, your next venue that you do, the next money that you receive. You have to decide, I'm going to set a percentage, 10%, 5%, or $100, $1,000, whatever that is. You have to decide and say, I'm going to set this money aside, almost like if it's an expense.
Yes.
If you budget it as an expense, then it is more likely to happen. Once you decide, okay, that's going to happen, you have to be specific. Okay, where is that going to go? Okay, so next time I get paid, I'm going to put $100 into this savings account that I have just set up specifically for that. Okay, how is that going to happen? Who's going to move it? Are you going to move it? Are you going to do it? Is there a way that you can talk to your banker and do it automatically? So you have to kind of define how you're going to do it so that it really happens. You schedule it. If you schedule it, also is almost more likely to happen. And then once you start, keep it going, because that's kind of the action that is going to get you to where you want to be, and you'll get there.
Do you recommend that they have two accounts? So one for savings and one for just cash?
It's very important, yes. And it's very important to name your money. Your money needs to have a name.
Mm-hmm.
That's also key in your mind. There's some psychology that will help you with that. Because if you have money sitting there and then the money has no name, it's gonna go away with whatever comes first. But if you have a name, whether that's a separate checking account, let's talk about businesses. Business should have different checking accounts and different savings accounts. This is my operating checking account. Then I have this other checking account that is for payroll. And then I have this other checking account that is for expenses. And there could be a list, but you could have more than one. Then there's also this savings account, but this savings account is specifically for my next investment. This other savings account is for the rainy day fund. This savings account is to cover any unforeseen circumstances for employees. Like, do you have a backup account that is going to cover for employees' salaries if something happens? There could be many reasons that I can give you. We can go on and make it a little bit more complicated, but it's really about naming your money. If we talk about your personal life, it's the same thing. I'm saving for a car, so this money here is for the car. This money over here is for the house, and this money is more specifically for the computer that my son wants to buy next year. So when the time comes that somebody is asking you for money, whether that's a need, a sale, then you look at your books and you're like, hold on, let me check. Nope, sorry, I didn't budget for this, so I cannot do it. And it's easier for you to decide whether you have money or not. Because if you don't, you're gonna be, oh yeah, I have money here, and I'm gonna use it for whoever asks first, and then the money's gonna go away very quickly.
Yeah, that is great advice. And as you said, you have to name it and you have to see it, right? So this morning I was talking to a client who says, "Oh, we've been operating for 2 years, but every month after we're done with all the income and all the expenses, we're always at a zero. So the next month it's again. So we just survive on a zero cash flow." And so what you're saying is you have to plan. So you budget to make that money so that you can put it on a savings account so that it can be there and it can grow, so that you don't like have this stress in your life. So what if something happens today? What if something goes wrong? What if someone doesn't pay me and I need to make the payment? So yes, of course, it's absolutely necessary to plan for that. So what would you like people who listen to us today to take away from our conversation? What would be the most important thing out of our conversation that people need to remember so that they can plan for rainy days with their businesses?
I think I can summarize it in take action. Stop waiting. If you're waiting for something to happen so that you get to do something, I mean, you're going to keep waiting. So stop waiting and take action, whether that is taking a piece of paper and start writing down your strategy, your plan of what you're going to do, or just go ahead and do it. Yes, put that money away, name the money, do something towards what you want to achieve, and take action.
That is great. That is great advice. Thank you very much. So you hear that, people? Please take action, start planning, start saving, and make sure that you have a stronger business for you, your family, your employees, the families of your employees. It's very important that you take action and that you plan for rainy days. And Eduardo, where can we find you? How can we find you?
I think the most important thing is that you can find help and at any of our branch locations. So if you need something right away, you can stop at any of our branches at A+ Federal Credit Union, and there's going to be somebody very capable to help you going in there, because it's been a little hard to reach out to me directly. You can always reach out to me by email, or I'm on social media as well. But honestly, to get the help that you really need, you just need to go to the nearest branch to help you. We have people in English, people in Spanish that can help you out.
Absolutely. Well, here you have it, friends. You can find Eduardo and his team at A+FCU.org, or you can just find them online at A+ Federal Credit Union. Well, thank you very much, Eduardo. It's been a pleasure to speak with you, and we just had the episode in Spanish, so everything that we spoke about right now, it was we did another episode in Spanish, so you can just find it in our page, and you'll see that it's right there. So with that, if you know of anybody that could benefit from what we spoke today, please share this episode with them, share the link, and make sure that they listen to it. And if you would like to learn more about Economic Growth Business Incubator and the services that we offer to the community, please visit us at EGBI.org, and see you soon. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.